Quick ML Sports take here for you, Bonnet family. It's all brought to you by our good friends at Camillus Golf Club and Stumble and Monkey Brewing Company. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel. I think when you look at Chad Venning's career at St. Bonaventure so far, and we know that he obviously transferred in, after 21-22 from Morgan State, but you take a look at these last 2 years with the Bonnies, and I think he might go down. I know he has a shorter career than anybody, 3-4 years type of a thing. But when you look at this monster jump from last year to this year, I don't think he'll go into the category of an all-time Bonnie. He's not going to go into the Bob Lanier stratosphere or an Andrew Nicholson or Jay Adams or, a Tim Wynn or somebody like that, or the Stith brothers. You go on and on and on with the all-time legendary players, and there's millions more. But I think Venning is going to represent a couple of things. Number one, he is going to represent a really, really solid Bonnie, maybe in like that third deck of star players to come through the school. I think the second thing is he's a prototypical example of what Mark Schmidt and his coaches have done through the years in terms of developing, whether they come in as freshmen and leave as seniors, freshmen and leave as juniors. Now we have the NIL, the transfer portal, all this stuff with guys. You look at the Ironman 5 2.0, the way a lot of those guys grew into superstars. And when you look at Oshun and all these guys, some of them came in obviously really, really heralded. But you look at like a Dom Welch, who was, the all-time high school scorer in Buffalo, but yet he left even better, than when he came in. You look at, guys like Posley and these guys who have come into the program and just grown. He's grown. It's unbelievable how much he's grown in just 1 year. Remember all the videos that came out in the off season. It's easy to look at somebody in a gym in the summertime by himself with one coach or somebody rebounding for him and go, wow, nimble and quick, and look, he's lost some weight, and wow, look at that move, when there's no defender on him. But there were some things that really stood out. You could see the quickness, and you could see his dribbling ability. You can still see some things. Obviously you get the defense out there, you get into, competitive games, and, let's see if this really will come to fruition and all the rest. But I got to tell you, Venning, everything that we saw in those videos has come to fruition. This guy, in a few instances last year, with a bigger body, more at like 265 or so, not 255, or maybe 265, 270. Now he's like 250, 255, cutting down that 10, 15 pounds, getting quicker, the footwork, the exercise, the crazy commitment to the all-around game. It used to be, well, Venning's a post player. On occasion, he can make a mid-range shot. He'd come out to the three-point line, right, and he'd catch the ball and just kind of hand it off. There are times where Bonaventure needs a basket this season, and he's delivered from the outside or from the inside. He has been able to create his own shot. His footwork and his improvement in his dribble has been absolutely remarkable if you look at it. His point jump has been almost 2 points. Well, it's 1.5 points a game. That is a pretty good jump. The rebounding is about the same. The assists are about the same. Steals about the same. The blocks are up 0.5. He's turning it over a little bit more. Field goal percentage, he's down a little bit, but I think that's because he's probably, being asked to do a little bit more. Free throw percentage, though, is way up. And I just think sometimes you can look at the stats. Obviously, the point increase is the huge one. You can look at him and go, okay, that's everything. Other times you can look at it and go, it's not everything, it's something. And I think in this case, upping his points, okay. All the other things that I mentioned that are about the same or a little bit down, who cares? Because I think if you watch Chad Venning, you have to watch a Bonaventure game religiously over and over and over again like we do to know the impact that he has. How about his incredible improvement in terms of the low post, where there'll be a pass and he'll make a quick turn and it's an extra move and a much more defined pivot. Or an up and under move, or the quickness to go the other way that he didn't have last year. Those little things to get that extra shot, to get that basket. Look at his footwork and his hands combined to get some of these baskets that he's got in the last few weeks, including last night against VCU. He's improved immensely in so many areas of his game. Shot selection, execution and finishing, footwork, his hands, creating his own shot off of all those things I mentioned, right? His defense, moving without the ball. I mean, he's really, really improved beyond the box score. He's improved. And I think, you know, it's just been a joy to watch this guy. I know this is only his second year, but it feels like he's been at Bonnie for like 4 years because of his improvement, his commitment to the program, how bad he wants to win, the competitor that he is on the floor. And I just wanted to throw a quick tip of the cap out there to our guy, Chad Venning, because he's been absolutely outstanding this year. And the growth from last year to this year, albeit, you know, maybe a couple of stat categories left out, he's been tremendous overall. And if they're going to make a run, they're going to need this Chad Venning to help them do it in the postseason in the A10 tournament and hopefully beyond. ML Sports Take here, brought to you by our good friends at Stumbling Monkey Brewing Company and Camillus Golf Club. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel. Do me a huge favor too and download, subscribe, rate, and review the ML Sports Platter all over Apple, Spotify, Google, and wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get me on the social media side and my YouTube channel here at ML Sports Platter, you'll see a lot more video interviews coming down as well. I got the video podcast coupled with the audio podcast finally now. Worked with some StreamYard, finally got some time to sit down and research and look at it and kind of figure out and know what I'm doing, learn the editing, learn all that kind of stuff on that system. So I got Martin Biron from MSG Network coming on Friday this week, who's phenomenal at what he does, the former goalie, of course, for the Buffalo Sabres. Tomorrow, Seth Greenberg from ESPN to talk some college basketball. I actually didn't talk any Bonaventure with him, but I do encourage you to listen to what he says about NIL and transfer portal and some other things. And then next week, I got Anthony Castrovins coming on to talk about our newest Hall of Famers in terms of Todd Helton, Joe Mauer, and Adrian Beltre, and a bunch of interviews moving forward. I really do want to get some Bonaventure players on. I want to get Coach Schmidt. I just have not heard back from anyone in terms of getting somebody on the show. So I'll keep working on that. Hopefully I'll get somebody for everybody here. And as I always tell you, enjoy the games.